Kendrick Lamar is the musical embodiment of T'Challa, technically making him the Black Panther's musical counterpart in the MCU. Let me explain. The film Black Panther came out in 2018, accompanied with an album. The album contained 14 tracks, and Kendrick was featured in 5 performances, but he held writing and producing credits on the entire soundtrack. Although he's only listed on 5 songs, he was heavily involved and contains uncredited vocals throughout the entire album. Kendrick was the curator of the Black Panther soundtrack. Every artist featured is someone he handpicked to follow the films and his musical vision. He began recording for Black Panther during his Damn tour, and it was there that he actually got to see quite a bit of the movie. And after watching it, he decided he's not gonna do a few songs, he's gonna curate and produce the entire thing. The title track also happens to be the first track of the original 2018 Black Panther album. This is important, and I'm gonna bring it up later, so pay attention. It's entitled Black Panther, and Kendrick is a solo performer. He's rapping in the perspective of King T'Challa, where he makes a lot of parallels between his own life, as many call Kendrick the GOAT or the king of rap, a word he uses in the song 44 times. At the end of the 2-minute song, Kendrick very obviously states, "I am T'Challa." Now, I could probably end the video right there and use that as my only evidence, but there are 13 other songs in the album, and one of them contradicts me. Let's take a look at the song King's Dead. This is the song referring to when Killmonger beats T'Challa and has now become the new king and the successor to the throne. Kendrick is loosely rapping from the perspective of Killmonger until he says blatantly, "I am King Killmonger." And if I were to dismiss this track and say Kendrick just made the song to fit the movie, that would also negate the first song of him being T'Challa. But it wouldn't negate him from being the voice of the Black Panther, more specifically, the King of Wakanda. If Kendrick created an entire soundtrack for the first movie, you would think he would put at least a little contribution into the second one, but he didn't. Kendrick isn't a performer, writer, or producer on any track in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You could attribute this to the fact that he didn't enjoy this one as much, or he simply didn't want to commit to another movie project. However, he is in the trailer for it. I can't play it for you due to copyright, but his song All Right is slowly transitioned in the background of the trailer. The only time his voice isn't cloudy or containing an effect is when we see Shuri as the Black Panther. Now, if you watch the movie, you would know that when a Black Panther dies, he only does so in the physical sense. I'm about to throw a huge spoiler out there, so if you have not seen the second movie, go do that. I hope you cleared out. If not, too bad. Shuri sees Killmonger when she becomes the Black Panther. Killmonger was the King of Wakanda at one point, whether you like it or not. And we find out that she channels Killmonger with her anger, but in the end, she also channels T'Challa's judgment, meaning she has 2 Wakandan king mentalities when she dons the suit, which is exactly why in the trailer, Kendrick's song still represents the Black Panther, because he represents the king. The fact he isn't in the second movie is no accident. Kendrick isn't there because a king isn't there, not physically. The second movie doesn't have a King of Wakanda, and therefore Kendrick's songs aren't used because that's exactly what he represents, the King of Wakanda. Now, here's where I start to stretch, but not too much. The Wakanda Forever album opens and closes with Rihanna, much like the 2018 movies did with Kendrick. You see where I'm going with this? My theory is that Kendrick is the king and Rihanna is the queen via the soundtrack. The first song, titled Lift Me Up, is a ballad and a direct response to the death of T'Challa in the MCU, but also to Chadwick in real life. It's a beautiful piece, and there's a constant theme that repeats, and it's Rihanna asking to be lifted up, keep me safe, and wanting love. The same thing that Shuri wants, but she can no longer have because her older brother's gone and he can't provide those things for her anymore. To solidify it, the last song is entitled Born Again and is directly stating that the Black Panther has been born again through Shuri, and it's being sung by a solo track by none other than Rihanna. Just like the 2018 soundtrack where Kendrick started and finished the album, they did the same thing here with Rihanna, leading me to believe she represents the queen. And that's it. My theory is that Kendrick is the musical king of Wakanda and Rihanna is the queen in the same sense. This information means absolutely nothing to you in the real world, but I hope it was interesting. Let me know what you think about it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did I miss something? Let me know in the comments. And have a good day.